Hello, friends. Here we are again continuing our tour through the city of Paderborn. And what do we have here, Juhi?
So right in front of us is the famous Cathedral of Paderborn, which is dated back to 13th century, and it is called St. Liborius.
Because of the Saint Liborius, who is buried here.
That's right. And this, however, stands on the foundation of much older churches dating back to 8th century, which would be around 700s.
Yeah, so it's a very historic place here.
Yeah, and it's pretty huge cathedral.
This tower here is 93 meters high. That's pretty high, and considering how old this thing is, pretty impressive. And there, underneath there, where the windows are, you can look into the old foundations of other churches that have been here. And here we can see a few of these walls.
Yeah, and it is an important religious center for the Catholics in North Rhine-Westphalia and even beyond. This church was visited by Pope John Paul II, who was the predecessor of Pope Benedict, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he was. And this is very impressive architecture. You see all these little things here. It's all made by hand. It's all craftsmanship. So there's a lot of work in this cathedral.
Yeah, but not little things, it's grand things.
Yes, definitely. And we have been, for example, in the Cologne Cathedral, and I think this cathedral here is much brighter inside. I found it to be much more friendly, especially now when, of course, the light shines through these big glass windows. And yeah, here in the side, you see these little chapels. There are different ones, and we will peek in a lot of them now. And see the greatness of this architecture here close up.
Yeah, and you can also see great artworks with gold on the walls and like even on these gates, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, everything here is made with a lot of attention to detail, and it was a really good day also to visit. It was not too warm, not too cold, and it's very interesting. All the detail and so much history here in this. So you would have to read a lot to know everything about this cathedral here. Yeah. And this is the heating actually.
One of the many things in the church architecture that I like are the window glasses.
Oh, yes.
And the different colors and different cuttings on the glass for the sun to come through. Like I understand back in the days, these churches were lit mostly during the day with the sunlight, and it's really wonderful to see how the light seeps through these glasses and different reflections that it gives on the church statues and different things that are inside the church.
Yeah, you can see the architects and the builders of these churches pulled every stop, and that was in a time where most houses didn't have windows. They had just maybe a cloth or a leather in front of the windows instead of glass, because that was cheaper. Glass was very expensive, and it needed a lot of art and knowledge to make it. And here we are in the crypta, the room under the altar. It's one of the biggest cryptas in European churches, and this is also where some people like bishops are buried.
I'm not quite sure, but I think this is where Saint Liboris was buried.
Yeah, or a bishop, but I'm not sure. I didn't find so much about this.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's all mosaic. Again, a lot of artwork here. There's the Mother Mary, important in the Catholic Church. And here we are going over an older part that later leads us then to the inner yard of the whole church complex that is around there, because here in Paderborn it's also the bishop's seat of the Archbishop of Paderborn, so there are a lot of adjacent buildings as well. And here we come into the inner yard, which is also a graveyard. There's rest of a bomb from Second World War, and a guy died there. He was also buried here. And look around, you see these windows here, and there's one very famous window, the window with the 3 rabbits. And this is very unique, and yeah, it's one of the sights of Paderborn, this window. There in the middle, on the top, you see the 3 rabbits. And we are going back in again. There's another little chapel here. Or is it a gravesite inside here? I guess so. Baron seems to be buried here. I could just read that.
Mm-hmm.
This was John Paul II, this little golden thing when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is all carved by hand. Yeah, and now we go on to the little lighter part here, and there's the Roadhouse where we had schnitzel and burger, and it's very good. I can recommend it. Here it is.
Oh yeah, it was super duper lecker, as you say in German. Well, what I meant, delicious.
Absolutely. So, and now after eating, we continue our walk through Paderborn. And this all here belongs still to the church, to the Catholic Church, this little chapel here. And behind there is a pretty new and very modern school we saw. And we are coming close to the famous springs here in Paderborn.
Yeah, city of Paderborn has 200 plus springs, if I'm not wrong.
Yes. And you see a few of these spring basins here in the park, and we will see many more. And Paderborn is, as I mentioned in the first video, which you should also watch, the birthplace of the Pader, and that's Germany's shortest river, just under 4 kilometers. And here you see all of these spring basins.
Yeah, it really feels cozy here.
Absolutely.
You're surrounded by all these houses and then these springs.
Very fresh spring water. Great. And here you see a water wheel, and yeah, they used also these spring basins and the little rivers that come from it for these mills. This was also an old mill building, and even some springs come out of the basement of houses. So there are many more springs that you actually cannot see. And these little rivers here are also little arms of one river of the Pader, which is again only 4 kilometers long, but it is only fed by springs and no additional rivers around it. And a lot of water is coming out of these springs, up to 9,000 liter per second.
What a beautiful and a wholesome view of this place. It's really calming, I would say. You can walk here and let yourself relax a little.
Yeah, and it is stunning at the same time, because where do you have that? And here you see the old architecture, and there is a water wheel, and this is actually pretty modern. It makes electricity for a few households there. So yeah, and everything comes together now to the shortest river in Germany, the Pader. Yeah, and that's basically our video here of Paderborn. We concluded here, and we can really recommend this wonderful city. So many interesting things to see here, and the calming river in the end. So I hope you like this video, and like our channel and subscribe to our channel, and we see you next time on our next adventure.
That's right. Have a great time ahead. Till then, see you next time.
Goodbye.